Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Good morning, Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live. Clay'em, Canucks Commentary, Clay'em in the morning. That's me for, what day is it? Sunday morning, December the 28th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I don't think I've seen you since Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, December 24th, which was when we gave away a pair of tickets. Going to do another pair on Monday night, which is my next members live stream. So yes, next chance to win tickets on this channel is tomorrow night when I do my members live stream. But I'll get to that in my mid-show sponsor read. Appreciate all you being here on this early morning. I'm looking in the back end. I see under participants. I see Just Incredible. I see Tyler Line Change. I see Dino's in the chat. And that's all I see so far. So we'll see who else joins us on this Sunday morning. But glad to have all of you here. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, as Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thanks for your support. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, with my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, around the world. Thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching or else, getting ready for work, school, or shopping, or all three. But the fact that you're here with me, know how much I always appreciate you. Know how much I always, never, ever, ever, ever take you for granted. So this is how you can get involved today. You can subscribe to the channel, get active in the chat section. You can like the video, like the fact that Marco Rossi scored, like the fact that Connor Garland had a good game, and like the fact that Drew O'Connor had a shorty, and that's about it. Like the fact that we continue to build a great community here on YouTube. You can leave a donation, get the donation train out of the station. You can gift a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership. You can use your monthly membership message. And if listening on a podcast platform, you can rate and review. Just to nail a couple of things out right away. Good morning, fangirl. Yes, I got your text, Tyler. I fell asleep early last night. I forgot to message you. Yes. I will be at the game on Tuesday, Tyler. Welcome back to Hall of Fame. Oh, just in time for his birthday appearance. I maybe realized it just lapsed at the exact same time. So we're going to have Jackie on later tonight because it was his birthday 2 days ago. So happy belated birthday. So Jackie, you're texting me on WhatsApp right now as well. Yes. Tonight's show, not today, not right now. Unless you want to come on this morning, Jackie. Actually, I'll leave it to you, but I can bring you on today. It's just, it's a lot smaller show. So, but whatever's best for you, Jackie, I can bring you on at the end of this show, or I can bring you on tonight, which is your morning. You tell me, and I can do either, actually. I can do either. Good morning, fangirl. Yes, Rossi did score twice, once on us and once on them, which is good. Please, no bowling, huh? What do you mean, please? Oh, you don't want the bowling. You don't want the bowling drop. Okay, so we're going to recognize that Jackie brings him back into Hall of Fame membership just in time for his appearance today, and he does not want the bowling drop. Okay, so we give him the Costco cart. So once again, welcome back to franchise membership, Mr. Jackie from Sweden. Oh, he's at a soccer event? No, we do tonight then. That works out just fine, but it's your early morning, but we'll wake you up just to be on the show. What else we got? I like this. Fangirl called him Tyler the Crater, as in like a moon or a uneven surface, not the creator. Oh, sweet. Ryan, I'll see you at the Bruins game. Let's meet up there. Yeah, I'm going to the next 3. Oh, good. I get to meet the wife. Awesome. Your better half. Look at all these content creators in here. Tyler is awesome. Rev Trev is awesome. Go Canucks, go! Indeed, we are unintentionally tagging. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. How short-lived was my excitement that we were within a few minutes of a few points of a playoff spot. Definitely the better half. Speaking of better half, the three most important women in my life: my wife, my daughter, and my mom. Hey, Ma. Got to see my mom a couple times in the past week. Everyone say good morning to Joyce, who is my lovely mother, watching all the way from Surrey, even though I'm second in her eyes to Donnie and Dolly. But that's okay. So really quickly, just want to give you a recap of my last few days. Christmas Eve. So I think you remember when I left you guys on Christmas Eve, I was saying that everyone's busy during the holidays, but it started to ramp up because we had on 20th, Kayla had her birthday party with friends, and I had my staff party. 21st, Kayla had actual birthday, turned 18, not 19. She had her birthday party with family and godparents. Then on Monday the 22nd, we were out at my mom's place. Speaking of my mom, we were out at my mom's place in Surrey. 23rd, we had a get together at Gail's mom's place. 24th, it was nice. Gail and I, all three kids were the significant. So Gail and I had a nice Korean barbecue dinner. And then 25th, it was at our place. We hosted a bunch of people. 26th, so 25th was family, including my mom. 26th was our friends playing a bunch of weird new games, which was awesome. 26th, Sean and I also bowled in a bowling tournament, and we came in 6th out of 40 teams. So we cashed. Sean and I came in 6th, but I also re-inflamed my golfer's elbow, tennis elbows on the inside, golfer's elbows on the outside. So I got to kind of rehab and figure out what I'm going to do with this right arm. I can't do anything with it right now, which kind of stinks, except click on the mouse, I guess. And then 27th was yesterday. Gail and I went to Twassa Mills, did some damage, bought a new suit, bought a new jacket, and then I'll tell you this one quick story, and then we'll actually get to Canucks talk. It's pretty cool. We're at Banana Republic, which is my favorite store, and I asked them how it went on Boxing Day, because we were there yesterday, which is the day after Boxing Day. I said, how did yesterday go? And the manager looks at me, oh, it's our busiest day of the year. It was absolutely crazy. She goes, guess how many people came through? And I said, well, I need some context. What's your typical walkthrough on a weekend? She goes, 2,500 to 3,000 people a day. And then right away I said 7,500. And she looked at me and she was shocked. Her eyes popped open and she goes, how'd you know that? And I said, you got it to the exact number. I said, well, I just went 3 times your usual. So then I went out and bought a lottery ticket right away. No, I didn't. But it was kind of cool. Like, it wasn't like the most mind-blowing exhibition of intelligence ever, but I was quick, I was fast, and I made a logical guess, and I amazed the coworker. So then it's funny, after I said 7,500, I said, does that qualify me for a 75% discount? And she said no. I thought that was pretty funny, but she would not oblige. But that's okay. I still got a good deal on my suit and on my jacket. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about me. Just kidding. Enough about me. Let's talk about our Vancouver Canucks that we know and that we love. And last night they lose 6-3 to the San Jose Sharks in their first game back. And San Jose came in as advertised, fast, young, feisty, and we were unfortunately plagued by a lot of things that have hurt us in this past season. Bad defense, goaltending was just okay last night. No primary scoring. We had a lot of secondary scoring and some bad penalty killing. So let's get. Before I do that, I can get to the comments here because there are so few people here, which is a nice part of the morning shows. Still not convinced. I'm going to keep doing these in the new year, but I guess I only have a week to decide, right? So what do we got here? My mom said good morning. Definitely the better half. Yeah, for sure. All guys say that. Minus her not cheering for the. Oh yeah, she's going for the Flyers, right? I also have tickets to the Flyers game, assuming I don't have a buyer the night before I leave for Vegas. Ah, nice. Mama Emo is in the house. Hopefully you end up going. I'll see you as well. Everyone says, Rip Trev, not only good looking, very smart. Everyone hit the like and subscribe. Clay's awesome. The feeling is mutual, Trev. I'm actually glad they're losing. I want them to get a good high pick this season instead of trying to get back to the playoffs, which is almost impossible. Yeah, it does not look great. That's for sure. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So let's get going. And we start off by recapping last night's game. Usually I don't do these in the mornings if I do a night show, but I had no night show last night. So let's go to the Edge goal visualizer commentary. And it's Ryan Reeves who starts off the scoring. I don't know how. Well, I do know how. So the puck trickles through Demko. It's lying there. He covers it up with his blocker. And then as he's doing that, Reeves sweeps at the puck and puts in the net. I can't believe out of all guys, it's Ryan Reeves, who got into a funny thing with Connor Garland, a little chirp fest. So once again, Iorio, then I guess Goudreau tips it on the way. That's why it sneaks through Demko. And then as it's lying there and everyone's screaming, Demko reached back with his right arm, covers the puck with his blocker, and then Ryan Reeves sweeps it in. Now, I can't show the replay, obviously, for copyright reasons, but when we look at this, I thought the Canucks were going to challenge it. And when they actually, Hockey Night in Canada showed the Adam Foote and assistant coaches reviewing the video, you can see the assistant coach saying, no, don't challenge, after they were talking to the video coach. This one's interesting. I don't know the rule to the letter of the law, but I thought if the puck was covered and it looked like the goalie had possession, that the play should be whistled dead. Now, I guess the Canucks coaching staff didn't feel that Demko had possession. And then there's a reference Adam Foote made at the end of the game that when it's a simultaneous thing of a goalie trying to cover up and a player poking at the puck, that it's considered a loose ball, a loose puck, so to speak. So I guess then it becomes interpretation. Do you believe that Demko both had the puck covered and had control of the puck? I've seen whistles blown a lot quicker than that. But unfortunately, because they ruled it a goal on the ice, then you have to have overwhelming evidence to overturn it. Just like if they not called it a goal on the ice, which would be even better, then they could still review it and call it a goal. I've seen that before too, where they say, no, the play's dead. And then they say, no, it actually could have gone in. So unfortunate. I know Demko wanted a challenge. He expected a challenge. He said so after the game, but not to be. Not to be. And therefore it is, 1-0 for the San Jose Sharks off a Ryan Reeves goal. Ryan Reeves, of all people. This goal I did not like. Firstly, I think I remember watching this one because the linesman took a while to drop it, but he kept both Pettersson and Celebrini in. I wish they kicked Celebrini out. Celebrini wins it clean to Klingberg. And speaking of clean, Klingberg just goes to the middle and shoots it. And it goes clean underneath. It wasn't even high. It kind of one of those ones where it's not kind of skipped, but not really. Just kind of went on the ground and along the ice and went underneath Demko's left pad. This one he's got to have. I'm trying to think if there's a screen. Foote tried to give him a pass saying there's a flyby screen, but let's take a look. So Celebrini wins it clean. And they actually, Ray Ferraro made a really good point on showing Celebrini's, handwork, his positioning, and the way that he was able to win this draw, even though it was a scramble draw. And then let's see. Yeah, I guess you got 92 with Myers trying to check him going by right there. Yeah, I guess so. Sherwood not so much, but definitely 92 and Myers were in Demko's line of sight. And therefore a quick 2-0 lead. But I love this goal. Linus Karlsson, after the first power play unit, didn't really do anything. Second power play unit, Garland. Look at this patience, Garland. And then Garland. And then passes it cross crease. And those are hard passes because the goalie can just stick a stick out, even though that's a little risky for the goalie. But Garland shows great patience off this pass from Hornick. Again, Garland. And Karlsson, this is where he scores all his goals. Right there. Beautiful pass Askarov. And now it's 2-1. But much like the theme of the night, every time we got within one, San Jose would score a new one. So this is the second period is William Eklund. And this one is a weird one because it was actually Rossi puts it in. So it gets centered here. A shot from the point. Boom. And then as Rossi's trying to clear it, as the puck kind of went up in the air, he tipped it and it went over Demko's shoulder. So not much to see there, especially when you're not showing the actual replay. Just put it and Demko doesn't get mad. Like he's so cool about these kind of things. And he just said it's hockey. It's not because the reporters weren't trying to bait him, but they asked a question kind of like, "Well, what was your reaction? What'd you think of that?" And he just said it's hockey. I kind of like that. But then Rossi, his second consecutive goal, this time for our team. This one's nice. Kind of similar a little bit in that it's a weird one. So Garland Toronik shoots it. It actually hits. I think that looks like it hits San Jose player, and then Rossi shot it, and then I think it bounced off Askarov's shoulder. I just watched a replay like 10 minutes ago, but 20 minutes ago. But it was one of those where it was fluttering, and then Besser tried to whack at it, but Askarov actually puts it behind himself past the goal line. So Rossi was involved in like a deflection goal in front of his own net, and now he gets one where he swipes at it and then bounces off Askarov's shoulder. Besser swipes at it, misses, and then it goes into the net. So 3-2. But again, for the second time, San Jose rescores their 2-goal lead. This Chernyshov guy's good. 5 points in 5 games. This is a power play. So I think this is when the Canucks just killed off the 5-on-3, which is good. But now it's a 5-on-4. And the puck goes here. And I don't know what Myers was doing here. Myers, right here, tries to give support. But did he forget that he was checking Chernyshov? So, and then Myers then turns the long way. And then it's a great pass from Gaudette to Chernyshov. And he scores his first ever Canucks goal. So yeah, if you watch the replay, I don't really like the way Myers played this. So let's watch it again in real time. Well, real time goal visualizer commentary time. Right there, he shouldn't have bit, and then he just turns the wrong way. He turns the wrong way. He turns his back to the play. It was really, really weird play. 4-2 lead. But then this was a beauty. I think it was, or maybe, hold on. Do I have the 5-on-3s mixed up? When would they have the 5-on-3? The 5-on-3 was at the start of the third. Yeah, so that was correct. Then Canucks are in the box again later, and Drew O'Connor. Nice play right here. Just takes it. 2-on-1 with Garland. Decides to keep it, and a really strong snapshot. O'Connor and Sherwood, bottom 6 guys, both have really good releases. So that was really nice. Beats Askarov 4-3. And then this was the backbreaker, obviously. Celebrini. Nice goal, though. But even strength, you had, I guess this one's tough because Pettersson leaves Toffoli for, no, that's not Toffoli, that's 72, for behind the net. So then PD kind of goes to him, which you don't, did he have to? Maybe. But then now there's a big gap, and then the Celebrini is so good, so he finds that gap. Look, even with all 5 Canucks players converging on him, and he snaps it past Demko. Yeah, that one was a backbreaker. And then empty netter. Oh, they usually don't show empty netters on this one, but this one's kind of funny. So the Canucks ring it around. Demko goes to the bench, but Garland and Besser don't win this battle. And now look, Demko is already halfway to the bench, and it's not like Booyah mixed it. It went high in the. See, Demko's replacement PD, not even on the ice yet. And then Colin Graff outraces Z Booyah, who didn't have the best game. And there's the final score, 6-3 for the San Jose Sharks. They outshot us 37-27. We outfaced off them 56-46. Actually, I actually thought our power play, our penalty kill was a lot worse, but we did go 4 for 5, or they only went 1 for 5, and we did kill 5-3. So maybe it was a little bit harsh at the start of the season, at the start of the show. So we go 1 for 4, they go for 1 for 5. We all hit them. They had more block shots, so they've owned us this season. They lead the season series 2-0. Look at the box score. Who cares about San Jose? Vancouver. I see +1s for Garland and O'Connor. And then I see minuses for everyone else. Petey, -3 in his return to the lineup. Sherwood, Kane, Carlson, -2. Petey had 21 minutes. No one else close. DeBrusque at 18. And then Carlson had under 10. He only had 9 minutes. Sasson had 10 minutes. And those were your low men. You look at shots. Sherwood had 5 and PD had 3, so at least they were active that way. Blocks, no one with more than 1. Hits, Sherwood had 5. So Sherwood did have 5 shots and 5 hits, but he was a -2. Then you look at the defenseman. Hronik has 2 assists. Verlander -3, not great. Booyah -2, not great. And then, Booyah had the most ice time. Crazy. He had 22. They're slowly morphing him to number 1. He had more than deep. Marcus Pettersson, And then our young guy, Myers had less than 20, and then our young guys 13, 14, 13 and a half, and 16. Shots on goal, Verlander had 2, blocks, Myers had 2, hits, both Petterssons had 3 apiece. Demko, stat line doesn't look great, 32 saves on 36 shots, 889. Really quickly, did I like his game? No, I didn't like the Klingberg goal, and third goal was a fluke, fourth goal, no chance. Fifth goal, he said he probably could have had. Yeah, I just thought he was average. He wasn't the reason why we lost, but he certainly didn't help us win, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. Then you look at the standings, and this is... remember when they had like passed 5 teams and I got all excited and said they're only... Well, look, we're back at the bottom of the league in terms of points and points percentage because Chicago beat Dallas last night. So for those of you that want us to tank, we are doing exactly what you wanted. Not on purpose, of course. So they are still only 6 I'm going to keep saying this because they are only 6 points out of a playoff spot with 2 games in hand, technically, or 1 game in hand. Seattle's the only one that's kind of played fewer games. Well, Winnipeg too, actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, they have to pass 6 or 7 teams. And but I always say if they're 6 points or fewer, then they're still in the hunt. If they're 7 points or more, they're out of the hunt. So by the skin of their teeth, they're still within the hunt. But as I've said for the past month, not impossible, but highly, highly improbable. Improbable. All right. Enough of that. Let's get to what I liked, what I didn't like, and one other thing. What I liked the fact that Rossi got his first goal for us. He also got his first goal for the opposition, but he got his first goal. And of the 3 newcomers, I think they've all had, I think in the first game, Bouillon was the standout. Then I think Olgren was the best newcomer at the tail end of that road trip. And in our first home game back, I think by far Rossi was the best of the 3 newcomers. So I liked the fact that he scored. And then the other 2 goals, what I liked, I guess, was secondary scoring. I liked the fact that it was Linus Karlsson. I liked the fact that it was Drew O'Connor. The opposite, of course, to what I didn't like is no primary scoring, but I'll get to that in a second. So I liked Rossi's game. I liked the play of some of our bottom 6 for sure. And I guess special teams were okay. We scored a power play goal, although I think we could have looked sharper. And yeah, I guess our penalty kill was good, including killing off a 5-on-3. I originally had it in a what I didn't like category, but now I look at the stats and I replay it in my head. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. So not a lot to like though. Not a lot to like. What I didn't like the fact that PD, DeBrusque, and Besser and Kane all invisible from an offensive standpoint. You know, PD at -3, and you guys might think I'm a PD apologist. Yeah, he's got to be better for sure. I give him a bit of grace because it was his first game back after missing 8. And he was noticeable. Sometimes he's noticeable by not shooting. I get it, but he was noticeable on the ice. I thought he was okay. I'm not going to sit here and say he was great, but he wasn't like horrible. He wasn't horrible, but he needs to be better. No doubt about that. Besser needs to be better. DeBrusque needs to be better. And then Foot kind of referenced that his veterans weren't ready to play. Also didn't like the fact, I think the Canucks should have challenged. I get it. You don't challenge, and then if you challenge and you lose, then you give San Jose an early power play. You could be down 2-0 early, but they're down 2-0 early anyways. So I think you challenge that, and then especially only to do your goaltender right as well, right? So he's not. Although Demko's got a very strong, mental game. It's not. I don't think he was sitting there huffing and puffing in his crease saying, "Oh, how come they didn't challenge? How come they didn't challenge? How come they didn't challenge?" No, it wasn't like that. But still, you kind of want to do your goaltender right and do that challenge for him. So I didn't like that, and I didn't like how the Canucks look slow, but I guess they are slow compared to San Jose, and I didn't like I want Bouillon to do well. I didn't think he had a great game. A couple turnovers and he got beat a couple times clean. And the bigger picture, I didn't like the fact that every time we got the game to within 1, 3 times San Jose scored the next goal to make it a 2-goal lead again. So Canucks got to be tougher mentally, physically, all those things to make sure they're scoring the game tying goal. You are allowed to score 2 goals in a row, but the Canucks couldn't do that last night. One other thing One other thing is, yeah, it's just funny what a difference a week makes. In the same way that when the Canucks won 4 games in that week in the road trip, it vaulted them up the standings. You're a week later, you've lost 2 in a row, and now you're back at the bottom. So I do admit, I think my excitement after that Boston win on the Saturday night, last Saturday, the 20th, was a little bit short-lived, because here we are at the 28th now, and we are back in last place in their entire league. So I guess my one other thing for today would be just how quickly things can change when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 teams within 6 points of each other at the bottom of the Western Conference standings. Finally, what they said. So Demko interviewed him. He was calm. He didn't blame anyone. He said he's got to play better, and he didn't make any excuses for his game. But he did. What was most telling from him was that he was hoping that the coaching staff would challenge that goal. Then they talked to Rossi. Rossi said, it's nice to get his first goal, but obviously it'd be nicer to win. That's basically what he said. Connor Garland was out there, and Garland's funny. He's always seemed so grumpy when he's talking to the media, and he kind of has short answers, and he's looking down. He's not really engaged, and so that was kind of funny, and his answers were very short. I get it. Your answers would be short after a loss, but even when he's talking, you see, you kind of see him like almost you can picture his inside voice saying, "Oh, I don't want to be here. I don't want to answer the question." And as soon as they asked him, this is the first time we've talked to you since the big trade, you kind of just see him shake his head, but he said the right thing, just talk. And then, to his credit, he did talk at length about each of the 3 new guys and what they bring to the table. So at least that was, and Garland, we know that he's a hockey nerd, kind of like Hughes is, and he knows players, he studies players, and he knows a lot about players' tendencies. So that was cool to hear. So that was Garland. Then they went to Adam Foote. Adam Foote said that they weren't ready to play early. He didn't say they weren't ready to play at all. He said weren't ready to play early, but that tells me they weren't ready to play. And then he really talked about his veterans, saying they got to be better. And he did talk about the fact that he said Petey was okay. And he did say that justified their reason for not challenging that first goal by Ryan Reeves. So there we go. There's a bit about last night. Let me go to a Mitchell sponsor read, and I'll get to all of your questions and comments for the next 15 minutes or so. So we always start off by thanking my primary sponsor, and that, of course, is Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Thank you to my secondary sponsors. The first one is Gassy Jack Art. He creates the wonderful artwork you see adorning my home studio. So support him at GassyJackArt.com. We got Mulligan Golf Company, MLGandGolf.com for golfing accessories and apparel. And we have Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiFootwear. Vessi Clay. Receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Thanks to everyone who's purchased Canuck Clay merch. You can do so at canuckclay.threadless.com. Ways that you can get involved today. You can subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a donation, gift a membership. You can buy your own membership like Jackie has done. You can upgrade your membership. You can use your monthly membership message. And if listening on a podcast platform, you can rate and you can review. Finally, my shows for this week. There's a lot of them. So tonight is at 11 p.m. We're bringing on Jackie, Hall of Fame member, at the end of the show to celebrate his birthday. Going to push that as late as we can and get him as much beauty sleep as we can because he's in Sweden. Canucks After Dark tomorrow night. Members tomorrow night, 11:15. Going to give away some tickets. So another chance for members to win. Then we have my show on Tuesday morning at 9 because the Canucks play Monday night. Then we have Tuesday night, regular show. Wednesday morning. What, is that right? Do they play Monday, Tuesday? That's crazy this week. Well, that's right, because on Monday, they're in Seattle, and then on Tuesday, they come back and play Philly at home. So then I have a show Wednesday morning, all while I'm off work. We're doing 9 a.m.s. And then, why don't I have a show Wednesday night? Oh, yeah, because that's... I'm so confused. Oh, yeah, because that's the 31st. So no show Wednesday, no show Thursday because of New Year's, and then back on Saturday morning because the Canucks play on Friday. So that makes sense. All you need to know is my next show is tonight. That's the most important thing. All right. Thank you, everyone. Let's get going with your questions and comments. And we will start. I'll go back a little bit, but I don't know how far. Where did my scrolling thing go? Why am I so confused? Oh, yeah, there. Sorry. I've been off for the past week. Okay, what do you guys got? I started here. Do you reckon Verhoff might go number 1, not McKenna, depending on who? Yeah. Stenlund, Verhoff, and McKenna are the 3. Again, I'm not a prospects expert, but I do hear that all 3 have been bandied for number 1. I think Demko even went to the bench and asked Foot about it. Yeah, I did see him skate. That's true. I'm surprised Team Tank isn't frustrated with all the losing. No. That's the opposite, Fangirl. Team Tank is happy with all the losing. Team Tank would not be frustrated with all the losing because Team Tank would want the Canucks to lose because they want the Canucks to finish lower. Celebrating was super noticeable all night. I think he had like 15 shots. Yes, he was a beast. Don't know why Rossi hit it towards the net, but like Demko said, it happens as hockey. At least he got it back by scoring himself on the other end. That is true. Clay, will and should the Canucks name another captain this season? Will they? My guess is no, Trev. I think there's no rush. We've had teams without captains before, and I think it would usually should. I have two minds of this. Sometimes, like, it's obviously a feel-good story. It's a big deal, even though it might be cosmetic in some cases, but it's a big deal still. We've seen the way that they named Hughes captain, the way they named Horvat captain. So if you consider it a big deal, you could do it so it kind of distracts from the stench of the season. It gives at least a feel-good story. But then I could also see them doing it and people saying, oh, you're just doing this to distract from how bad the season is. Oh, we don't need it. Why? Who wants to be a captain of this sinking ship? Blah, blah, blah. So my guess, will they? No. Should they? No. They don't. I think they should have one for the start of next season, but I don't think they have to name someone right now. What do you think, Trev? What do you think? Garland for captain, but next season if he stays. Garland for Kent Johnson. So it's either Garland for captain or Garland for Kent Johnson. One of the two. Canucks wait till Coots is a full-time Canuck and name him captain. That is pretty hot take. I don't know if the Canucks want to wait that long. PD not shooting on that power play and hesitating again. Yes, indeed. 6-7 troll. 6 surprised. We're still last after those 4 wins. Shows how bad we are. Yeah, it also shows how tight the standings are though too. That we haven't fallen even worse. Yeah. No, so I'm right. I mean, you're right. After the 4 wins, that's how far behind we were. But we did pass 6 teams, which are hard to do. But that's my point. Is it's so bunched up, and yeah, and then we're still within 6 points, right? Hey, Swerve. Good morning. They need to stop having DeBrusque and Bester on the same line. Yeah, they're not great together. They need to shoot a shot after no more than 5 passes. Yeah, they should have a pass counter on the big screen on Jumbotron. So 1, 2, back to point 3, back to the side 4, back to point 5. You have to shoot. No, I don't think that'll work. Didn't Quinn have a lot more to learn at 20? He did. He was probably more dynamic at 20. So yeah, I'm not at all blaming Bouillem, but you see the promise there because he made some good plays last night as well. Exactly. Canucks couldn't build momentum after scoring. 3 times they surrendered. San Jose was able to double their lead. 2-goal deficit with an own goal is hard to overcome. Yep. Hey, Janice. We thought the home record was bad last year. Can you say it's worse this year? 4-3. That is horrible. Well, not 37 games at home, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah, 4 home wins at all. Racked up a $300 breakfast at a very luxurious restaurant here in Montreal with a friend. Was well worth it. Well, I hope so. For $300. Someone threw out a stat that Pettersson's stats in his first 500 games are better than Bure. It's hard to believe. Oh, so Swervin Yrvin. They put the stat out. They said basically fastest players to reach 500 points. No, sorry, that was wrong. The stat was points in their first 500 games. And then Pettersson had 495, which was great. Like that's a point per game, right? So that's good overall. The body of work is being good, not great, but good. Then Bure was behind Pettersson on that list, but then there was an asterisk beside Bure's name. He was only like 5 or 10 points behind Pettersson, or maybe only a point. The point is he was second, a close second to Pettersson, but then though that point total, let's say it was 490, was done in 420 games. So the point was that Pettersson got to his 495 and 500, but Bure got his 490 or whatever he had in 420 games. So that was the point that was made. Because I was gonna post it, say, whoa, look at this. PD stats are better than Bure. And as I was gonna take the picture, Shorty was saying, just so you know, that Bure did his in 420 games. So that was the context. Yes, members only tomorrow. Members only Monday. Mom. They do not play tonight. They play Seattle tomorrow night. Monday night. Brock is hurting, Janice. I definitely didn't like the teams the Canucks normally beat. They haven't beat. That's a good point. Sleeping with a hybrid form. Hey, we all have those days. You and Patrick Alvin. EP40 was fifth in 5.5 point production for almost 2 seasons. Only behind McKinnon, McDavid, Kucherov, and Pashnev. Doesn't even look close to those players anymore. What happened? I think it's 3 things. I think the number one, he came back from injury. Not just last night, but overall, he hasn't been healthy. Number 2, I don't think he has his confidence. And number 3, he doesn't play with the same quality players, right? There was Horvat, there was Miller, there was a peak Brock. So I think those are all factors. Good point, though. Do you think the PD criticism can be too far at times? I get he hasn't been playing up to par, especially for 11.6, but it can be too personal. It's so tough. Like I probably go easy on PD only because I want to see him succeed and we need him to succeed so badly. That's not the best reason. I get it. And I know others are a bit tougher on him, and that's fine too. That's totally fine. But I do like him. I want him so badly to succeed. We need him to succeed so badly. But yeah, that 11.6, that makes you lightning rod for criticism if you're not playing well, because you got to own up to it. Yes. And personal things aside, especially him and his wife losing their baby, that's very sad. That's devastating. But I don't know if I'm sitting here and saying he's got to put that. No, I'm not going to say that. Can fans put that aside, or should they have to put that aside? Because some would say, well, I get it. As an overall person, how could that not affect you? And then others might say, well, yes, it's very sad, but you are getting paid $12 million a year, and you got to be able to produce that way too, because we all go through stuff in different forms of seriousness. So it's a tough one, right? But the question is, do you think criticism can be too far? I think when you're talking about hockey, it's justified. But when you look at the overall picture, you could consider it too a bit harsh. Where do I come out on it? That was very, very sit on the fence answer. I do think it can be harsh at times, but I don't think it's unfair, if that makes sense. I think it can be both. Would I trade EP40 for a 3rd round pick just to get rid of the contract? No, not yet. I would not. The center might as well be an ex. He will just be the next player traded. Not the center, the captain. So yes, whoever gets to see next, be forewarned. EP40 comes off as smug and arrogant, especially in his interviews. Do you feel the same? I'm hit and miss with this. When he's playing well, when the team's playing well, I do think he comes across as likable. He's self-deprecating, and he likes to have playful jabs with the media. When he's not playing well, or when he feels a bit defensive or on the defensive, his answers become a little bit shorter and a little bit more standoffish. I wouldn't use smug and arrogant, but maybe kind of goes to my full answer from earlier. Maybe I'm too easy on him or whatever. But I wouldn't call it smug and arrogant. Thoughts of Chris Johnson listing the Canucks as one of the leading teams interested in Kyrou. If true, do you think a 1st round pick is in play? Oh gosh, I've liked Kyrou up and down. Throughout his career. First round pick. Oh gosh. We have 2 of them now, right? Would I do that? Kyrou for first rounder. Kyrou is proven. Yeah, give him the Minnesota first rounder because that'll be low. Not convinced. Not convinced. I liked him before, but he might be past his prime already. Is this team's problem that they're too soft? PD, Besser, Garland, DeBrus don't seem like the type of guys you can win with. You need guys like Kachuk and Sam Bennett. Yeah, I think there could be more grit for sure. More grit, but skill. Not interested in Kyrou. He heard he's got attitude issues. Okay, I don't want him either. Cap dumping Pettersson would be way worse than keeping him. I agree. Would you trade Josh Anderson for a third? You mean trade for him for a third? Yeah, I like him. Is Baines the most recent overrated player in Canucks history? Handpegged him as the next Burrows. Now he can't make the worst place seeming a mere fart in the wind. No, I wouldn't say overrated. The most overrated. Because if he was overrated, he would be, top pairing line or top 6. But yeah, he's been disappointed for sure. And I think a lot of fans wanted to see him succeed because of his local connection for sure. I think our home woes this season is due to complacency. Home cooked meals, players get to sleep in their own beds, regular practice and game routines, no team bonding like you're traveling the same. Yeah, I don't disagree. And it's too bad, though, because coming off the very successful road trip, 4 out of 5, you thought that they maybe have turned the corner, right? What's your trust level of this management team? That's a good question. I think in the big picture, they've done okay. I know I said that they failed Hughes, and that was one of the reasons why Hughes asked to be traded. But I think, having said that, they've done the best out of good. They've made the best out of bad situations, like the Hughes trade. What's my trust level? I think it's like C+ average. I don't think. I'm not convinced that they're the group to lead us out of the. So I guess maybe. Yeah, are they the group to lead us out of the rebuild, out of these dark times? Maybe. Are there people out there that are better? Maybe. But I'm not scared that this team's going to do something stupid. The management team's going to do something stupid. Like there's been nothing where they've done something that's stupid. They just maybe haven't made the most optimal moves all the time. But I get that it's tough to make optimal moves all the time. So that was a wishy-washy answer, but I'd put it as average, to be honest with you. Baines' awareness of where to go when he doesn't have the puck is at a very amateur level. Okay, that's something I didn't notice. Kyrou is a year younger than Besser, so slightly old if we were able to get younger. Okay, I didn't know he's that old. Didn't have proper coaching growing up. Okay, hockey IQ is low. Well, good enough to get in the league, but yeah, comparatively speaking, perhaps. I wonder if they're too comfortable being individuals at home. Doubt they do any team bonding or social gatherings on their own accord outside of practice start games. Yeah, opinion, but that's fair. That's fair, Justin. Why hasn't Hughes doesn't get more hate? Well, I've seen some hate toward him. He was arguably a worse captain than Messier. Let's hear it, Janice. Janice, that's a bold statement, but would love to hear why you think that Hughes was a worse captain than Messier. Saw something recording a video earlier that the Canucks didn't meet the NHL minimum requirements for members on their staff with athletic therapist certification. What? Where did you see that? Where did you see that? No, Lefty, I did not at all say it. You read that wrong. I said that was interesting because I don't watch the game or I didn't study Baines' game well enough. No, you didn't like what I said about Baines not knowing where to go without the puck. No, I didn't say that I didn't like it. I said I didn't notice that. Look at him more closer, my man. Okay, well, if you want to call me my man, if you want to say that, it's fine. It's fine. No, what I said, I'm not being defensive. What I said was I did not notice that, and I take your word for it. Oh, is my microphone breaking up? Okay, I'll have to look at that for next show. PJ reported in the province. That is crazy. Okay, I have to go look at that. You're breaking it up a bit. All good. All good. No, I have to go look. I trust you, Lefty. I trust you. Why would I question any of my viewers unless it says something completely not appropriate? All right, guys, 9:48. Let's keep going. Who do you think the Canucks 3 stars were yesterday? Garland was definitely noticeable. And, it's interesting. Sometimes who the Canucks put out to the media, it's a combination, right? It's a dance. The Canucks will offer certain players, or at least recommend certain players, but the media can ask for certain players, but the Canucks don't have to oblige, right? So you could ask for PD or Hughes all you want when he was here, but you might not get them. Sometimes the Canucks management staff will say, okay, we'll get you those guys. Other times they say, no, you get these guys. So the fact that Garland was out there, I don't know if the media requested Garland or because PD obviously, aside from Farhan Lalji, who did a one-on-one with him, I didn't see, PD wasn't brought out for the media. So the fact that Garland was out there tells me that the Canucks thought that Garland had a good game as well. So I agree with you, Stephen. And they mentioned that on the broadcast as well, that he was in the middle of everything. I liked Garland's game yesterday. I liked Hronek and Rossi. Yeah. I go Garland, Hronek, and Rossi as my 3 stars yesterday. Yeah, that's fine, Tyler. You can please do, or I can look it up as well now that I know that it's from the province, but thank you. Hey, hockey from home. Lefty Rossi looked average yesterday, although he did score, but it was kind of a lucky goal. Sure. And he did score it himself too. Oh, thank you, Janice. You did answer. The thing I hate about Hughes is he ended up being a snake. It's like he knew he was leaving for quite some time, but lied through his teeth that he was staying. Left us high and dry, snake. No, I respect your opinion. I take a different approach. I don't think he ever said that he was going to stay. In fact, I've had people reach out to me and say, just listen to him. He's never said that he loves Vancouver, that he wants to stay here, It was always, well, even if I wanted to sign here, I can't until July 1st. That's what I heard. I heard that on multiple occasions. Even if I wanted to sign here, I can't do so until July 1st. And then I take the tact or the track that if he knew he wasn't going to stay, I'm glad that he told Canucks management well in advance so they could start working on deals. Better than lying all the way up until at least July 1st, and then you're hurting your bargaining power, even if it's this July 1st, not next July 1st, right? The 1 year mark. So I hear what you're saying, and I get why fans might be upset at him, especially when they see him lighted up with a really good team with Minnesota. But I don't think, and I stand to be corrected, I don't think I ever heard him say outright that he was going to stay. Just my opinion. But I would love to be corrected if that's the case, if I'm wrong, for sure. But thank you, Janice, for explaining that. The Winnipeg fans are booing the heck out of Quinn Hughes. The Winnipeg fans are booing the heck out of Quinn Hughes. Oh, because of last night's game, you mean? Yeah, that was a crazy ending. Yeah, it's interesting that they're... I would put Ratu over Kampf right now. I don't know what Kampf's really doing for the team. And there we go. What's up with the Canucks scratching Ratu so much? He's probably one of our better 5-on-5 guys who can win faceoffs. Yep. O'Connor was trying to his ability. Yeah, O'Connor was okay. Yeah, he was good. I noticed that too. I think it's about points of goals and assists rather than overall impact. I noticed that too. Can't remember, Stephen, who we were talking about, unless it was about what you asked me about. Was it about the 3 stars? Is Alvida's obsession for Swedish players compromising this roster? There's better players available, but since they aren't Swedish, he won't sign them. There are a lot of Swedes, for sure. I don't know if... I'm not sure if he could get away with just signing Swedes only. Like, Rossi's not Swedish. Bujam's not Swedish, so... but free agents? Yeah, I don't know. Kane's not Swedish. But I hear you. There are a lot of Swedes on the team, for sure. Peter, between the 3 new additions, who has impressed you the most? Overall body of work compared to expectations, Ogren. Ogren's got 3 points plus that shootout winner in Boston. I think Bujam's been up and down. I think Rossi's been quite quiet until last night, for better or for worse. So I'd say Ogren, especially compared to expectations, because he probably had the lowest of the 3 expectations. They've been okay. They haven't been great, but you can see why they're excited about who they got. I don't know what season has been worse, this or the 23-24. Yeah. I don't know either. Probably this. O'Connor at least has been playing hard and making less mistakes now as compared to the beginning of the season. That's a great point about the mistakes. I agree with that. Feels like Foote looks at hockey DB and guys with more games played to get in the lineup more than young guys. Then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy if he only plays the guys with more games. But we need more than O'Connor to be playing real hard, and also other than Garland. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you there. Do you think management team handled the Hughes situation better than the Miller situation, considering that last season they took a bit too long to make a move, causing them to lose leverage? Yeah, I think they certainly learned from the Miller situation. They acted more swiftly. I would agree with that. Why did he accept the captaincy if he knew he was going to bolt? Yeah, but didn't he accept the captaincy? Quinn Hughes named captain. When was that? September 2023. Okay, that was 2 years ago. So perhaps at that time he was still open to staying. It could have been, if the rumbling started, like, I'm sure he was happy with the exciting 2023 24 playoff run. So that was his first year as captain. Then last season was bad, and then it was the end of last summer. Yeah, I think maybe when he accepted the captaincy, Janice, he was truly open to staying. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate that. As eventful as 23-14 was for the wrong reasons, I would argue Desjardins' final year was worse. Absolutely awful hockey to watch. Yeah, horrible. It's funny, Irvin, we were talking about this in our family yesterday. Willie D's run here. His first year, we made the playoffs, but his third year was horrible. And horrible deployment and very boring hockey. Betting mistakes early cost us 4 or 5 years of Hughes and Petey would not have had to sign a new contract until another 2 years from now. It would cost us 4 or 5 more years of Hughes and Petey would not. Oh, sorry. 2 different thoughts there. Betting mistakes early on cost us 4 or 5 more years of Hughes. Yes. And Petey would not have had to sign a new contract until another 2 years from now. Yeah. Petey went 3 and then, what were Petey's contracts? 3, 3, and 8? Is that how it goes? 3, 3, and 8. Where are you saying that for Petey they would have they could have gone 3 then longer already? What do you mean by that? I want to hear what you're saying, Philip. I get what you say about the costing us Hughes, but what about Petey's contract? Oh, ad blocker is on for the province. No problem. I'll look at it. That game was kind of boring last night. No emotion from almost all Canucks players. Almost switched the TV to CNN. Well, then you know it's bad. Team was on the upswing in 2023. The rift hadn't happened yet. Yes. Why is Russia still banned from the World Juniors? I mean, it's not the teenagers' fault. Yes. No, I agree with that. Let's just ban Germany too for what they did in the 40s because that's way worse. Yeah, there must be. I don't understand all the backroom politicking, but as a hockey fan, it's too bad. When do you draw the line? Good question. Good question. The Canucks version at this point has no emotional leaders. Canucks version, no captain, no leader, no playoffs. That's fair. That's fair. Bunch of pawns with rookie and a couple of rooks. Sorry, a bunch of pawns with maybe a couple of rooks. Certainly no king. I don't know about any queens either. Good chess analogy, even though I don't know how to play. I agree with you that 24... I always say we weren't as good as we were that season. We weren't as bad as we were last year. But yeah, that season, all things lined up properly. Just finished church. Nice, Helen. I'm leaving. We're going to the 12 o'clock mass. Then we're going for sushi. You hear about Quinn being spoiled rotten by Minnesota after the trade. Have a video coming out a little bit later on it. All right. I am live tonight at 11, Helen. Okay, here we go. We could have had a longer RFA contract for PD and no need to sign this 8-year for another 2 years. Right. No, actually, no, wait a sec. I think PD... Yeah, I think I know what you're getting at. So Pettersson has had a 3-year contract, then a 3-year contract, and then now his big 8. Yeah, he had 3 times 925, 3 times 735, and then he has his big one. You become a UFA after your 7th year. So I thought that they did, because they did 2 years of 3 years each, 6 years, no matter what, that third contract is going to take him into UFA. unless you're saying they could have gone 3-3-2 and then 8, or are you saying that instead of the second contract for 3 years, they should have gone long-term like they did with Hughes right away, but that would still take you to UFA. So I'm not doubting you, Phil. I'm just trying to understand the math behind what you're saying. Hughes being treated like a king in Minnesota. Craig Leopold is a real deal owner. PD as second deal was a bridge. Yeah, if you're considering the 3-year contract a bridge deal, meaning I guess that's what they do, right? It's a bridge to get you to one more RFA contract, right? That's what, and we see that a lot, right? 3+3, but we're also seeing 3+ going into the second one right away, where Hughes went 3+5, and then Hughes went 3+5, whereas PD went 3+3. Shows how much Leopold and Guerin wanted Hughes. Media probably doesn't ask stupid questions after each game like they do in Vancouver. PD and Hughes signed together. PD signed shorter and Hughes signed longer. Yes. PD went for 3 and Hughes went for his 5 or 6, right? Was Hughes' second contract. But the interesting thing with Hughes' contract is 25, 26. 3+6. I kept saying 3+5. It was 3+6. That makes sense. So Hughes had his 3, and then he then the last one that he was finishing off was his 6-year. No, I'm wrong. I'm so sorry, guys. I should get my head out of my butt. Oh, it is 6. Start again. Hughes was 3+6. PD went 3-3-8. There we go. Benning didn't opt to buy any of Hughes' UFA years. Yes. That's a good point. I think most of the Canucks media were playing ringette while the rest of us were playing ice hockey. I plan to get sushi. All right. Enjoy, Edison. Sushi Den. Oh, sushi in Richmond or on Sushi Den in Abbott. Nice. The bridge deals. Yes, Hughes deal, second deal was 6. Yeah, sorry, that was painful to watch, you guys. I saw an article last night saying PD to Carolina for Svechnikov, Stankoven, and 2026 first. Would you do that? I would. Svechnikov is solid. Stankoven and 2026 first, even though it won't be that. But then, then that gives you 3 firsts. I would do that. Does the money add up? I don't know what the cap is coming back. I'm sure Svechnikov makes a lot. Stankoven not. I do like Stankoven. I think he's been a little bit inconsistent. Tyler says he would do that, but maybe Carolina wouldn't. Yeah, I saw that article as well. All right, it's 10 o'clock. I go get ready, wake my family up, go to church, go to lunch, and then see what happens for the rest of the day. Thank you for being here, everyone. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe, respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovelander, legendary Brian Blingy Choi, legendary Swervin Yrvin, and legendary Andrew Chang. Thank you for your support. And thanks to Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. You know who you are. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing. On your way out, like the video, subscribe. You can leave a late donation. Thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Gassy Jack Art, and Mulligan Golf Company. And thanks to everyone who went above and beyond today. And that is Jackie, RSA, buying his, renewing his Hall of Fame membership just in time for me to bring him on my show tonight. So that is correct. My show tonight, 11 p.m. We're going to talk about set up the rest of the week and bring on Jackie for his birthday, who celebrated on Boxing Day. So we're going to wake him up because he's going to come to us from Sweden time. Fangirl wins our leaderboard at 225, and then everyone else has 75 or 50 points. So a big battle, but all behind Fangirl. Morning, Scott. Thank you. Thanks, Tyler. Helen, see you tonight. Stanko, overrated. Thanks, Philip, for being here. Hey, Edison, 5-0 over Seattle, 4-0. I love it. Svechnikov health-wise, and Stankoven, a BC boy. Indeed, I know someone who knows him very, very well, coached him, and his kids played against him. Knows him from Kamloops and stuff. All right, last one. Are you concerned about the effect last season? The season had Garland Sherwood futures, second guessing their extensions. They look frustrated every time. Yes, I'm not sure you heard me, Justin. I think you heard me. I was talking about that about Garland especially. Sherwood just wants to play, but I think he knows that he's going to get moved. So not worried about Sherwood. Garland, we'll see. I'm not all going to say he's going to be bad in the locker room, but he doesn't look happy right now ever since the trade. That is for sure. Okay, friends, I will see you tonight at 11 p.m. Thank you for joining me. Nice to be back with you. I hope you guys can. Isn't it weird? All these days with Christmas being in the middle of the week, it kind of messed up my calibration of all my days. But I do know that today is Sunday. I do know I have to go to church, and I do know that I'll be streaming tonight at 11 p.m. All right. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. By the way, over the holiday, I tried watching one of those virtual fireplaces on Netflix. Yes, but it didn't work. I wanted to load up that virtual fireplace on Netflix for some ambience, but it didn't work. I think I forgot to put the login. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.